Alright guys, welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. My name is Pete, this is my channel, and today I'm acting on a very hot tip. A good friend of mine told me this little branch creek right here is a good place to go fishing. So we're going to go old school. Old school all the way. I have this here cane pole that's about 12 foot long, and I've had it since the early 90s. Show you more on this later. And of course, I have my 3-trick pony, my walking stick, snake stick, and collapsible fishing pole. And for those of you that need to know, it's a Black Widow. I like it. It's a good thing. 2 fishing tubes for the poles, my little medics bag with my pocket tackle box, and I have some night crawlers and worms in here. No artificial bait today, old school all the way. And of course I got my little cooler to sit on. So let's get everything rigged up and go fishing. Okay guys, so what I've done with this old cane pole, I scraped all the crazy varnish off of it, and then I rubbed it down with some linseed oil, and then I had some old fly line that I wrapped around it because you see a lot of people just tying off on the end of their cane pole. Well, I'm sorry, they're wrong. You tie a string on the end of your pole, it puts all the weight right where you tied it. So if you break off, you lose your fish. So with me wrapping this around the cane pole all the way up to the end, well actually I'm about 1.5 to 2 inches in from the end, and I looped it around and I got a swivel tied onto that. So in the event I actually catch a big fish, I'm not going to lose it. And what I'm going to be using today is a standard bobber, a split shot, and I have some leader here that I made just for this. I've got a 25-pound shock leader, and then I made it like a fly line leader. I have 14-pound test, 12-pound test, 8-pound test, and 4-pound test tied together with double surgeon knots, if I remember correctly. I'll verify that. In the olden days, when you would buy a cane pole setup, it would give you a piece of cardboard with like some 15-20-pound line on it, and a long shank hook, and a little BB shot, and a float. But I want a little bit better presentation than that, so I'll be using some long shank, small hooks, my leader lines, bobber, and a sinker. So let's go ahead and get this thing tied off. Alright, so here's my shock leader. It's a 25-pound big game, and this is 14-pound is what I'm starting out with. I'm just going to do a loop through. Alright, and so now what I have here is about 5 feet of 14-pound with the knot, and then I've got about 3 or 4 feet of the 12-pound, 2 feet or so of the 8-pound, and about 4 feet or so of the 4-pound. So then I'll tie this onto the swivel. Alright, so we got a simple cinch knot on there, my shock leader. We'll get down to the other end here. This is the hook I'll be using today. It's a long shank, I don't know, about a size 10 or 12 or something. It's small. Alrighty guys, this is what we're going to start out with. A simple line through bobber, a little more than a foot, a BB shot, and a small hook, and worms. Now let me set this aside and I'll set up the big pole. Now the widow stick, I'm going to set that up for bullheads and catfish. Ah, fuck me. Who says you can't find a needle in a haystack? Alright, a kale style hook and a weighted bobber. Let me hook this up. Okay, so now I've run my line through the eye and put a bobber on the end of it, so as I drop this line, I won't be getting it all tangled up. Yeah, ask me how I know that. I did basically the same thing with this. I have some 25-pound big game line, and then I have a leader attached to this. And if I remember right, last night I used 14-pound test and 12 and went down to 8. And that should be plenty good because I'm going to be fishing for bullheads and catfish with this one. I'll be using night crawlers. Alright, that's just about enough. Now I'll put a hook and a sinker and this bobber back on there, and we're going to start fishing. Probably what I will do is set this pretty deep, and the other one there is set at a foot. Alrighty guys, the poles are all rigged up. I'm going to drop my belt, and we're going to put some bait on these hooks, and let's see what happens. Now I have had some night crawlers in my refrigerator for quite some time now. So my theory is I'm going to put a big juicy night crawler on there. We'll toss him on out there and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to catch a catfish or a bullhead. And with the other cane pole, I'm hoping I can catch some bait for this because I've got about 4 of these worms. Or night crawlers, I apologize. So I just kind of globbed the whole thing on there, and just going to throw it out there. Well, I might need to lay the pole down. Wow, okay, no big deal. And now the other pole, I will be using worms that I get out of my yard. Now I know for pan fishing you're not supposed to worm them up like that, but we're exploring right now. Ooh, got a nibble. How do you like that? First cast. Oh, sit still, son. Nice little flyer. See you later, buddy. All right, we're in business. Another one. All right, what do we got here? Little baby stump knocker. All right, guys, this is what they call a warmouth. I wonder why they call them a warmouth, right? They're very aggressive, and they do get quite a bit bigger than this, but a lot of people call them stump knockers or a warmouth. They're a nice fish, and they hit hard. Alrighty, guys, we are on the other side of the bridge now, and let's see what happens. Alrighty, I got this thing at about 3 feet now. Let's see what that does. There you go. First cast. I guess they're down a little deeper. And what do we have here, folks? Well, he certainly got a nice hook set. And what it looks like to me, folks, is a baby bluegill. So let's let him go. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, there you go. Take it, son. Ha! Oh, I lost the little shit. right, another one. Another pretty little worm out there, guys. I hate these chest rigs, but I'm trying to get used to using one. Yeah, that's a real pretty one. He's small, though. Got him. Looks like it might be another stump knocker. Oh. Looks like another one of them flyers, guys. Sure is a pretty fish, ain't it? All right. Ooh, got another one. Looks like another snot knocker. That one's a little, oh, hey, settle down, son. That one's got a little more size to him. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty stump knocker. Hand size. Yeah, they seem to be right out there by that bush. All right, what we got this time? Oop. Well, he counted. He's gone. That looked like it was a little flyer. Put the last little chunk of wormy on here. See if I can get me one more fish with it. All right, guys, that's it for part one. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget a thumbs up, a comment, and possibly a sub. And while we are waiting for part two to come out, what do you say we ride on out of here? Follow me. I know a shortcut.